Welcome to our channel. Today we are doing a first of its kind video. We're going to be unboxing something very important to the channel. We will be unboxing a generic astronomical 70mm telescope. As you know already, our channel is all about looking at things beyond the lens of a microscope, camera, and telescope for fun and entertainment. So this will be the first video in our astronomy series. We are very excited. After a long wait, our telescope is finally here and we are eager to unbox it. But wait a second. We know you should be asking yourself what was our criteria in choosing a telescope for the channel. Our three main criteria were 1. An excellent quality eyepiece. 2. A large objective lens. And 3. Portability and convenient to use. One more thing. We needed our telescope to be equipped with a telephone or camera holder. For obvious reasons. Of course. While doing an Amazon search, we stumbled upon this affordable telescope with a 70mm aperture. This is just the size we were looking for. He had also said that the telescope is sold together with a multifunctional aluminum alloy tripod with 3-level height adjustments of 20 inches, 39 inches, and 48 inches. The vendor also claimed that the tripod had a multi-angle movement of 92, 360 degrees. This was too good to be true. Also, just as we had hoped, the telescope had a telephone handle too. In front of you is a picture of the different components of the telescope. We hope that our telescope will have all the items we see in this picture. Please take a closer look. The finder's scope and eyepiece are the two most important components of a telescope. I'll explain to you in the course of this video why these are so important. Without wasting any more of your time, let's start unboxing our telescope. The first thing that caught my attention is the superior quality of the telescope's bag. It is made of a bright gray high-quality cotton and fiber material and it is rather sturdy. Although lightweight, the bag is about 24 inches in horizontal length and 5 inches wide and has a solid, black zipper. This is what we see when we unzip the bag. I hope there are no missing components. I see here a constellation and celestial object finder. This comes as a pleasant surprise to me. The vendor didn't mention this very important document in his sales pitch. I think he needs to. This constellation finder is more or less a map showing the constellation and what time and period of the year would one find the different objects of the observable universe. Let's take a closer look. The first thing I always do when I get a new equipment is to have a quick look at its operating manual. That is what we'll do even before we unpack the different components of the telescope. Sometimes, from the manual, we may immediately know if unpacking the equipment would be necessary or not. We are looking here at the body tube of the telescope. I will try to use the names of the different components as mentioned in the manual. The body tube is carefully sealed in a polyethylene wrap. We can see it here against the manual. So far so good. First component. Check. We will now take a 360-degree view of this body tube and see for ourselves how it looks and any related features. Here we see a warning against focusing the sun with our telescope. Honestly, I never thought this will appear here, but when we think of it closely, such a warning is necessary. This is a closer look of our body tube. Its closed lens and now, when open. The next component of our telescope is the tripod. I can't overstate the importance of us having a stable surface on which to place our telescope while Observing the universe. Our manual shows us the tripod, and we have here a visual of the physical tripod. So far so good. Tripod. Check. The accessory tray is something one never really thinks about as being important. But this is a very important component of a telescope. It enables us to conveniently keep spare lenses and other devices necessary for our viewing of the universe. Here we are. We have in front of us the phone holder. We'll say no more. Let's take a few seconds to take a closer look at this very important tool. I've attached my phone to the holder and it fits just well. Telephone holder. Check. Here we have the eyepiece set. This is the single most important component of our telescope. It enables us to zoom deepest into the universe while keeping the telescope's ability to focus on an object without distorting its quality. Here we have the finder's cope. The finder's cope is basically the component of the telescope which enables us to locate the object we want to observe. It is usually mounted on the body tube of the telescope. Another important component of the telescope is the erecting lens. This is the component that acts as the joint between the eyepiece and the body tube of the telescope. This is how it looks in the manual. The erecting lens has two openings. One is for the eyepiece and the other is the part which goes into the body tube. In front of our eyes is the extender or barlow of the telescope. This component of the telescope plays the role of a range extender. It basically multiplies our capacity to focus on more distant objects. We have reached the second step of our unboxing process, which is the telescope assembly. At this stage, we can confidently say that we received all the parts of the telescope as stated in the manual. We would begin this step by looking at the assembly diagram in the manual, and if everything goes as planned, our end product will look like this. The assembly process looks quite straightforward. Let's go over it. We mount the body tube on the tripod. Then we mount the finder's cope on the body tube. We then mount the erecting lens on the body tube and attach the eyepiece to the erecting lens. We then mount our telephone stand. We are set to go. Thank you for watching. Please support our channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing our videos.